Hello everyone. Welcome to the Banking and Financial Services class. We are doing Unit 4, which is NBFC and Overview, and in that we are doing leasing problems. As of now, we have finished 4 problems. In today's class, we'll be doing the 5th problem, which is quite similar to the previous problems which we have done. But in the previous problems, we normally have seen that we have done year-end problems where the year-end they need to pay the lease rentals, and few problems we have seen at the beginning which need to be paid. In the same way, in this problem, we'll be solving two key points which we have to observe. One is it is in advance payment, another one it is the straight line method of depreciation. So let's go to the problem. Here we are solving the problem which is given in the question paper December 2017, January 2018, 14 scheme case study problem. So I'll write here December 2017, Jan 2018 paper, which is a 14 scheme case study. Okay, this problem we'll be solving. So let's I'll read out the problem for you all once. You all can see it on the screen. Okay. Alpha Limited is thinking of installing a computer. Decide whether the computer is to be purchased outright in the brackets through 14% borrowing or to be acquired on lease rental basis. So the problem is clear where they are telling whether it has to be purchased or whether it has to be taken on lease. The company, they are saying, so cost of borrowing is 14%. The company is in tax bracket of 15%. So tax is 50%. The other data are available. So they have made two segregations. So if it is purchase, then they are saying the purchase price is 20 lakhs. Annual maintenance. So annual maintenance they have told it is to be paid in advance, which is 50,000 per year. That is will take per annum. Okay. Then expected economic useful life. So life I'll take 6 years. Then depreciation for tax purpose, that I'll take it as SLM method, that is straight line method. Salvage value they have said it is 2 lakhs. Then again they have given if it is leasing. So leasing option they have given. Lease charges or lease rentals, it is 4,50,000. I'll write 4.5 lakhs. Okay. They have said to be paid in advance. So this is the difference, paid in advance. So earlier it was paid at the year end. Now they have said it is paid in advance. Then maintenance expenses, that is to be borne by the lessor. Okay, in the previous problem also it was the same. Okay, it is to be borne by the lessor. And payment of loan, it is 6 years. So loan installment they have only given, we need not calculate it. So it is 5,14,271 and period they have said it is 6 years. So this is the problem which they have given. They have not specified anything as to what need to be done and what need not to be done. But it is quite easily understood that they have two options which they have given, whether to take it on lease or whether to do a borrowing. Whether to take it on lease or whether buying or with the borrowing funds. So I have written the given details. The cost of borrowing is 14%. Tax is 50%, which is common to all. So purchase, if it's the option, then purchase price is 20 lakh, annual maintenance 50,000 per annum, life is 6 years, depreciation is SLM method, and salvage value is 2 lakhs. Then if it comes to leasing, then leasing charges it is 4.5 lakhs. Then maintenance it is borne by the lessor. Lease rentals it is 5 lakh 14,217 and period is 6 years. So let's begin with the problem. Here one thing you can observe that they have not given the present value interest factor values. So either you can take it from the table or either you can calculate it by your own. So if you want to calculate it by your own, I'll just show you how to calculate. When the problem comes at the side, I'll just calculate and let you know how to calculate. Even in IM, you know how to calculate. Even in the previous problems I've taught you. But let me teach you all about it. Okay. So let's begin with the first option. So first option is present value of cash flows under lease option. So present value of cash flows under lease option. Okay, so this is the first one, and yeah, the same kind of tables we are going to put, that is year, lease payments or lease rentals, tax shield. This is what we are going to put. Okay, so here let's calculate what we need to put. First one, we need to put the year. Okay, then we are going to put tax shield, okay, then we have our after tax cash flows, after tax cash flow, then yeah, here lease payments we have just skipped. Where is the duster? After year we need to pay lease rentals, then tax shield, after tax cash flow, after tax cash flow, and then we have present value interest factor, present value interest factor at 7%. I'll tell you why. I've already told this in my previous problems. 14% they have given, okay, and minus T. T is nothing but 0.5, which is the tax. So for that you get 7%. Okay, so 7% value you have to take. Then present value of cash flows. So present value of cash flows. This is net present value. Okay. So this is what it is given. Now let's start solving the problem. Okay. So initial you have the details which is given. Okay. From those details, let's start calculating individually. Okay. So here I've told you the difference. So if it is year end, then directly 6 years you put and you put the value and you do the calculation. Okay. But in this case, the value is not given directly. In this case, the value they have said you have to pay it in the beginning. So when you have to pay it in the beginning, you have to do a different calculation starting from year 0. Okay. So 1 to 5 and 6. So this is how the calculation differs. Okay. So here I have written. Next I have to write the lease rentals. Now how much is the lease rentals? Lease rentals for the 0 year, as you are paying it in the beginning, is 4 lakhs. So you might be wondering how you have got 4 lakhs. So 4 lakh means 4,50,000 is the lease rental, for which the expenses which is borne by lessor, which is 50,000 maintenance expenses, that 50,000 we have to deduct. So total 4 lakh will be your actual lease rental. So that I am taking it here. Again for the 0 to 5 years, again you are going to pay as it is paid in the beginning, you are paying 4 lakh. In the last year, you are not paying anything because in the 0 year you are paid. So 1 plus 5, total 6 years it is done. Okay. When it comes to the tax shield, as you are paying it in the beginning, you are not getting any tax shield for the first 0 year. Okay. You are getting the tax shield in the 1 to 5 years, which is 2 lakhs. How do you get 2 lakhs? Because the tax shield is 50%. So 4 lakhs, 50% is 2 lakh. Okay. Then in the 6th year, you are getting 2 lakh tax shield, even though you are not paying any lease rentals because you have paid it in the beginning. First year's tax shield till 5th year, it is covered in this lot. 6th year's tax shield, it is written at the end. Okay. Then when you deduct this, for the first year you get 4 lakh. Then for the second year you get 2 lakhs, because 4 lakh minus 2 lakh you get 2 lakh, and this is a negative tax shield which you are getting. So this I'll put it as negative. Okay. Now let's put the present value interest factor, which is at 7%. 7% how did you get? So total cost of borrowing is 14, out of which 50% you have to take, which is 7%. Okay. So this is 1, always 0. Here it is 1. Okay. And this you can see it in the table, or later on when you do the calculation, I'll show you how did you get 4.1. I'll tell you later. So here the value is 4.1. And last year's cash flow, I already have it in the book. Either you can refer the table or else I'll show you the calculation after this. Okay, 0.666. Or else I'll just show you the calculation here. It's better, I guess. Okay, it's 7%. If you have to calculate the present value interest factor, what you have to do? 1 divided by 1 plus r to the power of n. So I, here you have to take I. So I is, you have to take your calculator and calculate the interest rate at 7%. You need to take 7%. Okay. So let's begin with the 7%. Do this. 1 divided by 1 plus r. So I'll take 1 divided by 1 plus r. I'm getting 0.935. So first year it is 1 divided by 1 plus r. R, as I've already told you all, you have to take 0.07 to the power of 1. This is for the first year. Okay. The formula is 1 divided by 1 plus r to the power of n. So for the first year, 1 divided by 1 plus 0.07 to the power of 1. So you've got 0.935. 0.935. In the same way, you have to do it for the next value. That is, either you can put equals and go if it's a regular calculator. If it is scientific calculator, you don't have that option. Okay. So 1 plus 0.07 to the power 1.07 to the power of 2. So 1 divided by answer you get is 0.873 for the second year. I'll directly, you have to just change this number. Okay. You have to just change this number. That is, here is 1. Next it is 2. 0.935. 0.873. This is for the first year. This is for the second year. So I'll write the changes here itself. So 1 divided by 1 plus 0.07 to the power of 2. to meet for the second year. So 0.873 is the answer. In the same way, you have to do it for 3 and all. So 1.07 to the power of 3. So 1 divided by your answer, you get 0.816. For the third year, you get 0.816. For the fourth year, I have to do 1.07 to the power of 4. 1 divided by answer, you get 0.763. Okay, 0.763. And for the fifth year, in the same way you have to do 0.713. 0.713. And for the sixth year, if they don't give any table values and all, directly you can do 0.666. Okay, this 0.666 I have written here for the sixth year. Hope so it is clear. Okay, and if you add all these, if you want, you all add these 0.81873 plus 0.816 plus 0.763 plus 0.713 plus 0.666. You've got 4.766. 4.766. This is up to 6 years. If you add it for 5 years, yes, 0.666. You get, if you add it for 5 years, you get 4.100. If you add it for 5 years, this value only I have taken here. Clear? So this is how you calculate present value interest factor if you don't have a table. Okay, so just multiply these two, you get 4 lakh. So 2 lakh into 4, it is 8, and it is 8,20,000. 8,20,000. And last one, it is 2 lakhs into 0.666. You get 1,33,200. Okay, this is negative value. So if you have to add all these, 8,20,000 plus 4 lakh minus 1,33,200. You get 10,86,800. Clear? Have any doubt on this? Understood? Okay, this is the value, present value interest factor for lease option. Okay, I'll write the value here for helping comparison. 86,800. So lease value, present value of lease. Okay, let's go to the next one. This will not clear, let it be. If we want space, we'll just clear. If we don't want space, then we'll try and avoid that, so that it is easy for us to copy down the values, or else I'll have written it down. I'll tell you the values later. So second option is present value of cash flows under buying or borrowing method. Under buying or borrowing option. Okay, let's start with the working notes. Working note 1. Working note 1 is the schedule of debt and interest payment as usual. Okay. Schedule of debt and interest payment. Okay, so this is the schedule. Let's put the columns. Here column, this is as usual in the previous problem we have done, no? In the same way we have to do. So space won't be enough, I guess. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 years you have the data. Then loan installments. So loan installment, it is they have only given. So 5,14,271. Okay, this is common for all 6 years. Then you have loan at the beginning. So loan at the beginning. So loan at the beginning, it is 20 lakhs. It has given purchase price 20 lakhs. From this, the reduction value starts. Then interest, principal and balance at the end. So interest, principal and balance at the end. Okay. This will be quite easy for you because you've done it. This is the 5th problem, right? So at interest, it is calculated at 14%. So at 14%, you have to calculate the interest. So let's begin the calculation. So you have your purchase price, which is 20 lakh. On that, you have to calculate 14%. So you get 2,80,000 as the answer. So 2,80,000 you have to minus from 5,14,271. You would like get 2,34,271. So if I have to call 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So for the third column, on third column you have to multiply with the 14%, and for the 5th column you have to minus second and fourth. Second minus 4th column. Okay, and for the last one you have to minus 3 minus 5. 3 minus 5. So 6th column it has 3 minus 5. So you have your 20 lakhs minus 2,34,271. It is 17,65,729. Okay, I'll retain the same 65,729. Okay, on this 14% you get 2,47,202. Okay, minus 5,14,271. You get 2,67,069. 2,67,069. From this we have to minus 17,65,729. You get how it increases? 17,65,729 minus 2,67,069. You get 14,98,660. 14,98,660. I'll take the same 14,98,660 into 14%. You get 2,09,812. You get 2,09,812 minus 5,14,271. You get 3,04,459. 3,04,459 you get, and 14,98,660 minus 3,04,459. You get 11,94,201. So you get 11,94,201. Okay, next carry down 201. On this 14% you have to calculate. So you get 1,67,188. 1,67,188 minus 5,14,271. You get 3,47,082. See, as the interest reduces, the principal your beginning price reduces, the interest also reduces, but the principal increases. You can have that tally in your mind to get the right answer. So it is 8,6. So I'll make it as 8,3. Okay, then 11,94,201 minus 3,47,083. You get 8,47,118. Okay, 8,47,118. I'll again carry forward that 8,47,118. Okay, for this I'm going to calculate 14%. I got 1,18,596. You can take direct 596. Okay. From this minus 8,47,111. Oh, sorry. 5,14,271. I got 3,95,675. 3,95,675. So I don't have space. I need to rub this. Okay. So 8,47,118 minus 3,95,675. I've got 4,51,443. 4,51,443. I'll take the same amount. Okay. In the last case, I've told you whatever balance is there, that will be the principal. That will be the principal, and remaining you have to find the balancing figure. So here difference between, I don't have space much, I'll write in the short form. Difference between the, as I say, you'll write down difference between the loan installment and balance at the year end. Balance at the year end is same. It has to match. So 5,14,271 minus 4,51,443. So 5,14,271 minus 4,51,443. Balance is 62,828. So 62,828. That is the balancing figure here. 62,828. I have put a star mark so you can understand. Okay, that is the balancing figure. Okay, this is the schedule of interest and debt and interest payment. So let's go to, you have understood this, no? Let's go to the depreciation next. Next, write down the heading, working note 2. Working note 2, schedule of depreciation. Here there is very less calculation because one thing is they have given the straight line method, so it is quite easy. Okay, schedule of depreciation. So I'll write straight line method. I have written SLM. You can write full. Straight line method. Cost, the formula I am writing here. Cost of machine, whatever cost of machine is there, minus scrap divided by the life of the machine. Okay, or life of the asset. Okay, so the cost of the machine they have given, it is 20 lakhs minus 2 lakhs is the scrap value which they have already given divided by the life of the asset, which is 6 years. So here 20 lakh minus 2, it is 18. 18 divided by 6, it is 3 lakhs. Okay, 3 lakhs. But here only we can do the tax consideration, tax shield, so that it is easy for us for calculation. Even for the WDV method also you can do that way. Okay, so into 50%, which is the tax shield. So remaining you get is 1,50,000. 1,50,000. Okay, this is after tax depreciation. After tax depreciation. After tax depreciation, it is 1,50,000. Clear? Any doubt? Straight line method is quite simple. Let's go to the main table. Okay, here again it is quite simple doing. It is same as the previous one. No changes are there. But the only change is here straight line method, so the depreciation remains constant. So I will write here, one is year. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 6 years they have given. Then you have the loan installment. So loan installment is 5,14,271. It is common for all. Then tax shield. Yeah, tax shield for interest. So in on tax shield on interest, whatever interest amount is there, on that 50%, that is the tax shield. This you have to do the calculation. So I already have the calculation. So directly I'll do it. So you need to calculate 50% of it. How much the price is? On that you have to put the 50%. So first year the calculation which we have made, that is 2,80,000. On that you have to make 50%, which will become 1,40,000. So I'll write here for the first one, 2,80,000 into 50%. Into 50%, you get 1,40,000. For the second year, the price is 2,47,000. I have it here, 2,47,202. So half. 2,47,202. You get 1,23,601. 1,23,601. In the same way, for the third year, it is 2,09,812. 2,09,812. So half of it, or 50,000, it is 1,04,906. So third year, 1,04,906. Okay, next. For the next year, fourth one, it is 1,67,188. That is the interest. If you do half of it or 50%, it is 83,594. 83,594. Okay, next year the interest is 1,18,596. So 1,18,596. Half of it if you do, you get 59,298. 59,298. And last year you have is 62,828. 62,828. For that, if you do, you get 31,414. 31,414. So this is quite simple. We have already calculated the interest rate. Now you have to calculate the no need of calculating the depreciation, because directly we are going to put. Okay, so tax shield on depreciation. There only we have done directly. So 1,50,000 is the depreciation which is common for all. Why common? It is common because it is straight line method of depreciation. That is the reason it is common. Okay. Then you have net cash flow. Net cash flow. So net cash flow, you already know. If you have to name the number of the columns, 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. For the fifth column, you have to add these two, that is 2 and 3, then deduct it from, you have to add 3 and 4, then deduct it from 2. Okay, so 3 plus 4, 2 minus. Okay, let's do that. So 2,90,000 you get. Okay, if you add these two, 2,90,000 you get. 2,90,000 minus 5,14,271. 271. You get 2,24,271. 2,24,271 you get. In the same way, you have to do it for everything. 1,23,601 plus 1,50,000 minus 5,14,271. You get 2,40,670. Yeah, meanwhile, while doing this only, we'll just multiply with the present value interest factor. Okay, present value interest factor at 7%. I've already calculated the values. I have it here. I'll write those values. Okay, then last one is total PV. Total PV. Directly we'll do, or else it will take more time. Okay, so present value interest factor annuity values I've written. I've calculated, I've shown you how to calculate. Write the same. 935. Second one is 0.873. 873. Third year it is 0.816. 816. Then fourth year it is 763. 763. Then for the fifth year it is 0.713. 713. And last we remember 666. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, this is done. Just multiply these two into 0.873. You get 2,10,105. 2,10,105. First one I had not done, so I'll do that. 2,24,271 into 0.935. You get 2,09,693. 2,09,693. I'll take a different chalk. It's quite small. Okay. Next, third year we had to do 1,04,906 plus 1,50,000 minus 5,14,271. So 2,59,365. I'll write here 2,59,365. 2,59,365 into 0.816. You get 2,11,642. 642. Okay. The next is 83,594 plus 1,50,000 minus 5,14,271. You get 2,80,677. Okay, you get this into 0.763. You get 2,14,015. You can put 7. Okay, for individual point variations, don't mind. Okay, then next you have to do 59,298 plus 1,50,000. 1,50,000 minus 5,14,271. I get 3,04,973. 3,04,973 into 0.713, I get 2,17,446. 2,17,446. Okay, next I have last year, which is 31,414 plus 1,50,000 minus 5,14,271. I get last year 3,32,857 into 0.666. You get 2,21,683. 2,21,683. Now we need to add all these. 209,693 plus 210,105 plus 211,642 plus 214,157 plus 217,446 plus 221,683. So total value is 12,84,726. 12,84,726. So this is the present value of cash outflows, total present value of cash flows. But one thing to remember, minus, we normally were doing salvage value and we were doing capital gains. So as this is straight line method, we have equally distributed for the depreciation. We don't have any book value, so no capital gains you'll get only salvage value. So present value of salvage value is you are getting 2 lakh. 2 lakhs is the salvage value. On that, the last year factor, it is 2 lakhs. It was 1,33,200, no? If I am right. Yes. 1,33,200. So this deduction we have to do. So 12,84,726 minus 1,33,200, you get 11,51,526. So this is the final answer. Okay, with the final answer we have to make the comparison. So before doing the comparison, let's write the amount here. So buying or borrowing option, the value is 11,51,526. Okay, these are the two values. By seeing this value, we can understand that whichever has got lesser value, that we have to select. Okay, in this, the lesser value is in leasing option, where the value is 10,86,800, whereas the borrowing option, it is 11,51,526, which is higher than the leasing option. Hence, the company should go for leasing option. So write down the conclusion. Present value cash flows of leasing option is lower than the present value cash flow of buying option. Hence, the company has to is advised to go for leasing option. Okay, so hope so you have understood this problem. If you have any doubts, you can clarify during the classes. This is about the leasing problem. Next class, we'll come up with another new type of leasing problem. Thank you.